Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargame Terrain. Guys, welcome back. This is the Monday painting video for everyone that's new. Monday painting video gets voted on by you guys from last week's Weekly Wednesday. Whichever has the most votes gets painted up. In the event of a tie, there's a dice roll off, or I try to get both of them done. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so last week's Weekly Wednesday, there was a good few votes cast. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. But the clear winner was the wild card. Now, this is always the way, because this model here is a Kataphron destroyer. Come in the Imperial magazine, and I had one. There's 3 in the unit, but I got one. I built it together on camera and everything else. Gravelled it, undercoated it, had it sitting there as a wild card for months now, waiting for the other 2 to come in so I can glue them off camera and then put them into the vote, or just leave them as the wild card. No one's going to vote on the wild card. No. They think it's fantasy. They think it's always going to be fantasy because the last wild card was a Jabberswife. So I said, okay, it's safe enough to leave that there until the others come in. Well, the other 2 came in. And I'm so flat out with everything else off camera, not just real life stuff, but model stuff as well, that I haven't touched the other 2 yet. They're still sitting there. And then you guys vote for the wild card. So I've only got 1 of these done. The other 2 still need to be built off camera. It's not a big issue because a lot of YouTube channels will have, say, a unit of Terminators and paint one model on camera, and you don't see the rest of the models, so it's not a big issue. I like to paint the whole lot in one go. But anyway, this is the model, Kataphron Destroyer. You can see the tracks. I put some gravel along the tracks as well to give a bit more definition, but I won't be doing that on the other 2 because it's painted the backside. Right, let's have a look at the wet palette, guys. Caledor Sky, Lothern Blue. This is some Kislev Flesh, but it is the airbrush version, because I finally got some airbrush cleaners, so I'm going to be bringing the airbrush in, maybe not on a painting video, but just for me to do stuff off camera and make my life a little bit easier. So Retributor Armour, Lead Belcher. It's a beaten copper. It's a very old GW paint, and I'm running out of that one now. So this is some what's it called, Rune Lord Brass. So the first thing I'm going to do is get myself set up in a better position and then decide where I'm going to start on this guy. I think the first thing to do is start with some Lead Belcher. And I want to get all these tracks in here done. I want that down a bit too much. Do all this done. I don't want to touch this made symbol on the skull on it. Get the chassis done. And I need to painstakingly come in. Maybe not. Just get the tracks done. By catching that dirt. Yeah. Get this chassis done as well. So I'm going to go off camera and I'm going to do those little annoying bits, and I'll come back to you then, guys. So here we're at. Here's where we're at now. And then to the backpack, there's quite a lot of metallic-y, that's sweet. There's a lot of metal bits on him. You could get away with just painting silver, like his chest piece there and all that. But I want to try and make it stand it out a little bit. So I've got some Kislev Flesh on here now. Now I'm going to look. I don't think there's actually much. Skin on him, to to be honest. So there's very little skin on him. Just his head. Shocking. Let's have a little scan to make sure I haven't missed nothing. No, it's just his head. Just his face. Everything else is cybernetics. It's nice. Okay. Now I'm going to decide my next step. Right, so I'm going to come in with some beaten copper and get these exhaust pipes. Already they're starting to break it up from the back. So it's going to be a massive silver. It's going to have a few other bits and pieces on them. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pick a few things out like this bit here. Where else are we going to go? Pick out a few of the pipes that are on there, connected into the machine. These little bits at the front here. And this bracer bit that holds him in there. Gonna just get that. And I'm going to come back when I've done those pieces. So here we are. Did the little bits on top of the gun as well. Just picked out a few bits here and there just to break up the silver a bit. Now I'm going to come with some rune lord brass. I'm going to do his chest piece. This little side of his face that has all cybernetics on it. Again, this just breaks up all the silver. I mean, it's still metallic-y, but it just gives you a different shade of metallics. Get the bit on the back of him. Still power tank at the bottom. I don't know his power tank, I don't know what it's called, but it's on the back of him, so it goes on the bottom. It's on the back of him at the bottom, sorry, so let's get that done. I'm going to do the casing of the flamer. Because if you guys remember, when I built this model, I was cleaning the flame a bit down, and the flame was snapped somewhere in there. So I had to glue it on. That's why it looks a bit skew-if. But that's part of the reason why I do lots of build videos, so you guys can see anything that's wrong, any mistakes that I do, and just avoid them yourselves. Get this nozzle case done as well. It's really going to stand out now. Let's get the fuel tank. We've got a plan for the fuel tank, but we'll just give it this nice silver look first of all. Was nice, sorry, metallic-y silver coppery look. So it's actually, you can already see the chest piece stand out from the arm, stand out from the face. It's looking pretty good. Leave it to dry for a moment. We'll come back with the big gun. Right, so now I've got some Kataphron Sky. I come in here, just paint the little bits in here, watered it down, really watered it down on the wet palette, so I can get into those little grooves. So it can actually really stand out even more. This little coil bit at the back as well. Also going to get these power units. When I put it together, I think these are the bits that power the weapon. So I did the underneath part, I did all those parts. I've now got some Mephiston red on the airbrush paint. Mephiston red airbrush paint on the wet palette, and I'm going to break this gun up even more. So I'm going to come in and do like these panels here. Just try and get all this panel work done, so it just really stands out. Things like that little circle at the bottom there, and I leave that because I want to give that some metallic-y colour, just to add to it. Now I might have to give it 2 thin coats of this airbrush paint because it may not go on as nice as I want. And I crack on with that. I'm going to do this part of the gun as well. I crack on with that and I come back to you. So here we are. Now you might see a few bits of the red where there's little bits of black coming through. I've done that on purpose. What I did was water down the Mephiston red airbrush paint even more. So when I paint it on, especially around here, there's little dark parts that makes it look dirty without having to do very little of anything. Now some retributor armour, so I'm going to do bits like this, and just to really make it stand out. I'll take the eye sockets in there. Yeah, I'll take the eye sockets. That's pretty much it. There might be a few bits that I find here and there that I'm going to add to retributor armour, but I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right guys, so this is, for all intents and purposes, about ready. The only frustrating thing for me is I don't have the other two built, because it's a very simple paint job. Very simple paint job, very easy to do. Absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it to the next stage. I'm going to get some Troll Slayer Orange, and I'm going to come in and paint this fuel cell. Paint the end of this. Now Troll Slayer Orange is a low paint, so it will go on bright but dull itself down. Now usually it gives you like a rust effect on silver. I don't want to have a rust effect, I just want to have like a heat effect. So I'm going to leave it to dry, then give it another couple of layers because I want to bring it up bright, so it gives me like a heat effect. But I say that, I might give it a second coat and go, actually no, that's fine, leave it like that. But I'm going to leave it to dry and come back to you in a minute. My apologies there guys, I forgot to stop recording. I did just try to edit it out a bit and I was like, it's too much messing around for 2 minutes of you see me apply a second coat of, yeah, so it looks nice and fiery. So now I've got some one stack of red and I'm going to bring this in and I'm going to just start layering up the panel. Again, one stack of red is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. And this is just to highlight it up and just give us a different shade of red. I'm going to crack on and do the rest of that and come back to you afterwards. It isn't quite finished drying yet, but that's the general idea. Now I'm going to come in with some Kataphron blue and I'm going to just dab it in the middle here. The Kataphron blue again is a layer paint, so it will go on bright and dull itself down. There are a lot of problems with the camera not focusing recently. All these little power nodes are going to get. I'm going to just dry brush the edge of these power cells. So I'm going to go off camera and leave that to dry for a little bit and give it another bit of Kataphron blue. Right, so that's all finished. I give it a second coat of La Fern Blue on the power nodes and the ammo bits and the bit at the back. Now I could wait for that to dry and come with some white scars and just do a faint bit in the middle, but I'm not going to. Don't see the point, there's no need to do that. To bring you down and show you some pretty pictures in a second, guys. If you enjoyed this video, well, first of all, let me thank everyone for voting, who voted. Don't panic if your vote didn't win, you know, for this Monday's painting video, because everything has to be painted. And every week there's more models being built and added to the vote. So just keep voting, guys. If you enjoyed this video, it's helped you in any way, please like the video. Everyone smash the like button, actually. It's just YouTube actually then probably have more people to have a look at. Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't always subscribed to the channel, guys, it costs you absolutely nothing and it helps the channel out in a massive way. I think we're 462 now, which is absolutely fantastic. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything, because we don't just do painting videos, we do less builds, we do weekly Wednesday battle reports. There's terrain builds that do happen from time to time, but just this is just overtaking everything at the moment, just painting and building. Thank you guys, thank you everyone for watching. I'll bring you down, show you some pretty pictures. Until next time, guys, take it easy.